Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Slutsk Games coming back with you on a 10v10. We're playing with the Folsom Jaeger 1 and we are playing on Slutsk. So the main objective we're working on this game is to capture this hill. As you can see on this elevation on this hill, we have a good vantage point. Looking at what we need to see from a pretty good angle. Complete fire control over the town. And these two hills are necessary in order to control the town as well. So we're moving our reconnaissance units forward. Our tanks are following close behind. Once again, we're rocking out the Tigers. So he's sending out, our ally is sending out his reconnaissance to take a look. And you can see there's a humongous buildup. And this is something that happens throughout the match. This guy here, Gelinor, there's at least 3 of them here on this map, I believe. On this just one side here. And they pretty much just build up in the town and stay there. I'm actually quite confused why they did that. And you'll see a little bit later that these 3 Tigers basically hold off their entire armored force, despite having some pretty decent tanks. Seeing some T-34s, KVs. I believe they also have an IS somewhere around here. Bringing up their AT guns. And it's firing into our reconnaissance units. And we're moving slowly. All under fire too. Let's speed this up a bit. As you can see, this is recording. This game was priorly played on May the 7th. It was a good game. We had some decent trades. I would say that we could have done better. And that is something that we keep coming back to over and over again. The fact that there is a skill issue here. And we're trying to address it. In our last game, we did much better than we did in this one. And we have learned quite a bit. Good, that's out. You see all those tanks that are building up right there? Here's the IS I was talking about. It's an IS-1. And they just build up in the town and just literally stay there the entire time. Taking the hill was very interesting. Later on, it gets kind of intense. The best move we could do was move some anti-tank, self-propelled anti-tank weapons over to the our end of this small little village, I would say. The reconnaissance units give us a good viewpoint on what's going on the other side of the map. Here's where our tanks start taking on their T-34s. Pushing that machine gun out in the open. He will eventually take this top here. And we'll control both tops. And that gives us a huge vantage point over them. As you can see, he's pushing up here. They're pushing a bunch of infantry up forward. They're not going to last very long against this. And he takes it out. Moving up one of his other SDKFZs. Keeping them nice and pinned. And we're moving our infantry to assault this little section here. And getting prepared for an assault here. The good thing about this is I noticed that he didn't have much of a build-up, despite the fact that he controlled this entire area. I don't understand why. But at the end of the day, we still use it to our benefit. These infantry squads, especially these paratroopers, become very important later on. And this area needs to be controlled by at least some type of tanks or any type of armor, only due to the fact that it's just so... You just take a look. Look. It's so flat. You can get good targeting towards any direction, but if somebody assaults up the hill and gets up on the top, it's pretty much open field. IS-2 is under fire. And he's withdrawing, getting out of range of our Tiger tanks. Excuse me. These Tiger tanks are so good, especially in a pair like this. And you got to have your commander. So we're moving them up. And there goes the first shell. Falling back a bit. And despite the fire here, we shoot. Score a hit on his T-34. Next shot's going to be a killing blow. And annihilated. So he's moving infantry, but he doesn't have any fire support with that T-34 being completely just knocked out. And he just has this AT gun that he's trying to sneak it up and see if he can hit these Tigers. But he just ran straight into this. Like I said before in the last match, these are absolutely excellent for ambush. Defense, especially at long range. Jaegers attacking. And we got him pinned down. And like, this is what I said about the infantry part. So it's good to have some type of like armor support. And the good thing we had is we had a lot of support thanks to our Tigers and our self-propelled anti-tank gun. Okay, we're moving up this Tiger. And they got our reconnaissance units under fire. They're firing from the town. They're quite built up in here. But I remember them being quite, very, very built up in there. A lot of armor, a lot of vehicles and everything. We're scoring some hits on these guys trying to get up on the hill. And at the moment we control this small hill partially. With his units basically just staying on this side of it, giving them an advantage. We're dealing with some of these units here. As you can see, we're pressing forward, got him pinned down. The entire hill is ours. Got some IS-2s. T-34 is dead. And SU-85. Still got that dangerous IS-2 in the background. And we scored another kill. And we moved our Yak Panzer IV. They're an AT gun. The idea here was to start shooting from this direction. I should have sent the Yak Panzer IV first, but at the moment I really needed something out there. Oh, we lost a Yak Panzer. No, a Folsenberger squad. And he's moving his IS-1 to counter this vehicle here due to the light armor that it has. As you can see. Compare this to my Tiger tanks. And we're getting ruined by that anti-air gun. Smart play on his part. Probably tired of his vehicles getting blown up. And there goes that. And we ended up losing our self-propelled anti-tank gun. Sadly. I don't even think it was the IS-1 that killed it. I'm sure it was one of these. And he's trying to assault our little hill. But as you can see, our guys are just... These infantry are absolutely excellent at dealing with any other, especially any other type of infantry that I've encountered with. Absolutely excellent infantry. Very expensive. Terrible to lose them. And that's probably the trade-off he has here. This aircraft messed me up. Main problem here is both me and my partner here basically invested zero, almost zero, in anti-air. He had this one little gun here, another gun here, but this entire area was completely just left open, and that was a mistake on my part. We also moved our Yak Panzer up the hill. To get over there, we got to deal with that IS. But all is quiet on the right side. We refit here. So we knew they were going to be pushing forward. And then we don't want to take any more of these. Like I said before, these are really expensive units themselves. And it's not good to be throwing them out there like that. Took out a pack. Unfortunate. We moved a Yak Panzer to replace the burned out Tiger that's right here. Yak Panzer 4s are really good for the cost and the protection. They're pretty decent. It might not be able to deal with IS-2s if he throws them out, but we can deal with T-34-85s, T-34-76s. You know, anything that's not an IS, we should be able to deal with it with the Yak Panzer. See, he's moving. Oop. Speak of the devil. Here comes the IS. And here they're making a push. They got T-34s, Su-85s. And they're dealing some good damage to our tanks. And this was an actual heavy loss, because we ended up losing our command tank and our Yak Panzer IV. We're hoping, as of right now, our poor Yak Panzer IV is outmatched by that IS-1. At least on points. Armor and firepower. And yet we were still able to kill it. And that pretty much turns the tide of this little battle for this little flag, because our Yak Panzer IV was able to stay in battle. So we missed IS-2 up. Losing the Folsom Jaeger squad. And our job right now is just to hang on. And we lose our Yak Panzer. So we also addressed and corrected our mistake. Started putting some anti-air. And started moving our vehicles back into town. So now we're on the defensive. We successfully pushed and took this little hill. And he in return did the same. And up here we've traded 1 tank to 2 self-propelled guns, which is pretty bad. But in town we've traded about, I would say, similar. Lost 4 tanks here. Lost about anti-tank gun. I know there's a tank around here, I'm just not sure where it's at. A ton of little vehicles. So right now he is capable of pushing, and we're on the defensive, and we're moving whatever we can forward. That's something really cool about Steel Division. Depending on how you move him up, he's got a clear side of view. He's firing. This hill is completely captured, making beautiful progress here. Everything around the front seems pretty stable. Everything's about pretty even. We still hold our flag right here. And they're still making their progress to try to capture this one. I am quite surprised he never pushed forward. Or took too much advantage of the hill. Let's got a T-34 in there. Oh, this tank. There's the other tank. Not sure how I didn't spot them the last time. Burger King is lying. Let's go. So I'm gonna send this little small squad up, do a little recon, get a little push. I know for right now with this AT gun, we can keep a good side of view, pretty much the entire hilltop. So we're going to be covered. And he doesn't have too much that he can't use. Everything has to be on this hill. Unless he pushes forward. This time we decided to send some throwaway troops. Grenadiers aren't bad. Cheap. Efficient. A lot better than throwing out these our paratroopers. Especially the Folsenjägers. Trying to soften them up. Starting to become a proper battle now. And it's very tactical between me and this guy here. Just for this hill. Nothing is very much being wasted. Sorry guys, I'm also drinking some coffee right now. And like I said before, we had a good fire support. That was going to be hard for him to hold this without setting some type of armor. And what we assumed is he would probably stack his units here. What we want to make sure with the artillery is that we keep them pinned if they are. And we can move our guys pretty much covered. Now we're trying to send some of the serious infantry. With the machine gun squad. And he panicked our AT gun, but did not kill it. Took light damage. We're moving our machine gun. We learned a lesson from the last time. We weren't gonna just blindly attack. We were gonna make sure our units had some type of support. And he realized that he needed to bring some armor. Despite being on the hill, he has to stop and fire, just like our AT guns. And he didn't. He's still moving in position. He probably cannot see. Well, definitely could see. And as we had predicted, he was gonna meet us here. I would have kept my units a little more back, like we were doing, just because it gives us a the ability to have our AT guns firing on this position here. And with our infantry assaulting here, his AT guns become very vulnerable. Put a machine gun squad here, doing great support. Once again, I'm not sure why he never pushed. Playing very careful. Getting pushed on this side here. Not getting pushed on the hilltop. Finally, we take the flag. And we reclaim the hill. In a successful push. Moving forward without moving back either. Just absolute carnage. I forgot all about that T-34. So there was another tank on this hill. And now the trade up here is quite more even. Bombardment starts on the town. Especially with all his bunched up tanks. One got absolutely annihilated. Maybe two. And we're gonna try our luck and push forward. That was a mistake here. Stop and set up our line. Call in some artillery fire. These guns are, I wouldn't call them good, but I mean they're decent. If you want to just keep their heads down. We launched a good airstrike. We took some damage, but we're not dead. And instead of holding this line here, we decided to do our plan, set up our machine gun, and set up a good defensive line here. And they begin their assault on the hill. It's their counterattack. And they push our guys from the side of the road. Set up an AT gun to keep them out of this area, because that was going to be what's going to make us the most vulnerable right now. And despite routing him, he was still able to hit our units. Town's almost getting circled. And it seems everybody else has been able to push, just like us. And we have a solid straight line. And the closer we get to the spawn point, the harder it gets too. As you can see, we're just there. Launch another airstrike, but this time he fails and has to leave. Launching little attacks, and his IS is able to take out one of my Tigers. Brought up an 88. Direct hit. These are very good units. Expensive. Got a lot of good firepower. Pretty good at dealing with those ISs. And he gets the kill. Humongous loss for us. Our own little local counterattack failed pretty miserably. And we move some Tiger tanks up. They're quite well defended here, but they've just lost so many flags all over the map that at this point it doesn't even matter unless they're able to push well, they wouldn't have to push the entire front, but they would have to push something, especially right here. This is what they're the most vulnerable right now. We're gonna Tiger tank up. Doing the same general idea that we tried with this AT gun and this destroyed Jagdpanzer.
Товарищ, не стреляй!
And it's quieted down again. We're not really pushing too much. There's no need for it at this point. We did want some revenge on the SU-85. And scored a kill. And it's very quiet, actually. He's not pushing. We're not pushing either. Over here it's pretty intense. But it just seems like it's quieted down so much. It's almost on every front. Everyone's just pretty static. Small push happening here. They decided that taking the hill might be the easiest option they had. They're bringing up some decent infantry, and then we pile in our reinforcements. The one thing I would always say that I would recommend is always making sure, if you keep a line like this, always keep another a second line. Here you can see he feels kind of confident. He's gonna push. We pushed our tank up. Once the smoke clears, we'll go to use it as fire support. And he's trying to completely cut off the tank. A reconnaissance plane. At this point, we know this push is quite managed, and it's manageable. And we push further up. Tiger tank is responding. And we get a minor victory. We traded negatively, but it was kind of close. And I hope you guys enjoyed this match. Like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you guys have a great day.